Well, hello, folks, and welcome to Unit 4. We are definitely on that downhill slide now and quickly approaching the end of the course, so we still have some work to go do. Well, our focus for this week, our Unit 4 focus is on quality, right? We will be discussing Dr. Deming's 14 points. We will also discuss things like transportation costs and so on and so forth, and I'll cover that here in a second. Let me begin first with our Unit 4 discussion board. You'll need to review Dr. Deming's 14 points on quality, and these have been around for a long time and really interesting points in terms of what defines a total quality management system. Management will then want you, as part of this discussion board, to implement one of Deming's points each of the following years. In other words, each year, focus on what it should be, when should we deploy it, and what are some of the issues associated with that. You need to discuss first which points out of the 14 you consider are the most important, start a chronology, if you will, of the 14 points and why you think those are the most important. Then, once you implement that certain point, discuss the first one, second one, etc., as to whether or not the methodology that will be used to deploy that and then incorporate it into our normal business activity and operations. Why is it effective? Why or why not? Is it a problem? Can it work? How will it work? It's really yours to create based on your interpretation of Dr. Deming's points and your additional research on that. So that's your discussion board. Next comes your Unit 4 individual project, and there are two parts to this individual project. The first part here, the focus is on transportation costs. So what you need to do is you'll be given some information in terms of a current press paste powder production process. Try to say that one 5 times fast. Okay, so you'll be given that process. You will then need to create a process map. So before you panic, I'll discuss that in the chat. Like I said, every video, please attend the chat either live if your schedule permits, or at least the recorded archive. So I'll give you examples of a process map. You need to create a map that contains a new streamlined process. That should be what you consider to be the ideal process, given the old way to the new way, right? Identifying things to reduce waste and find minimal waste in the process. I have a suggestion, and I've used this in past courses here, in delivering this MGMT 640. Once you read the process, the current process, it's good practice to do the process map. Create an as-is based on what you see with the 5 symbols. I believe it's 5 symbols in there that outline each step in the process. Then create the to be, and that'll be a very simple pictorial as the as-is and the to be. So that's part 1. Part 2 now is to explain how the new process you just created addresses each one of Deming's 14 points as compared to the old process, right? So it's yours to compare and contrast. You need to explain how the new process has been optimized, hit the key points on that, especially tie it in to Dr. Deming's 14 points. You then also need to explain things like how employee goals, business goals, employee goals, and the communication process can help achieve the implementation of Deming's 14 points. A little hint, you'll find on page, I believe it's 222 of the text, a discussion on employee empowerment. There is a plethora of information out there on employee engagement, employee empowerment. That's a great topic for you to cover this last task in the individual project. So I encourage you to go there. Now, for your assignment, your Unit 4 individual project, you can either submit the process map and the part 2 piece with all the verbiage in one document, or you can submit it as 2 documents. It's truly your call, whatever's easiest. A lot of folks will create the process map, cut it, paste it into the Word document, and then continue on with part 2. It is absolutely yours to create. So, again, we are wrapping up Unit 4. You're doing real well wrapping up Unit 4 once you get through the assignments, obviously. But we're well into Unit 4 now, on the downhill slide. You're all doing well. I appreciate your participation in the process. And we're just 1 week away from our final unit. So, hope to see you in chat and talk to you next week, folks. Have a wonderful week.